All right. And then let's see, let's go with share screen. Push the wrong button. And let's do some advanced powers. This is not going to look perfect, but it's going to get us there. And so let's see here. I'm going to come right over to here and give you some slides. And let's start at the start. Okay. So yeah, so this is so funny. So let me just be completely honest. My assistant, she just Facebooked me and she said, you have a Quickstart business thing today. And I'm like, what? It's like, it's not that I'm not ready for it, but I'm like, wow, it's like for some reason she didn't get that into my calendar, which is really, really rare. So anyway, I find myself like, wow, okay, kind of throw it in. And so normally I have all these things all set up for you. So I'm gonna do a couple of little switches here just so you can see it. Okay, so yeah, so this will be, I'm going to be open to any question that you want to have, and then we'll just try to figure out solutions for your situation. But let me first of all just kind of quickly go through a little bit about me. My name's Chad Earhart. I have recently found out I am related to Amelia Earhart, which is kind of fun. And I am not Giga Chad, for those of you who think so. And this is my granddaughter here, and she's just one of my favorite things ever. I could go over to, let's see, let me do another slide deck here and just show you another thing. Let's see, I'm going to do this. And just kind of let you know, I know that doesn't really matter a lot about me. It really matters that I can help you, but some people are always kind of interested in it. I am founder of the Chad Earhart Coaching Company. I've got a bunch of websites that I've got up that I have business through. I'm certified through the John Maxwell team because I love leadership, and John is, I think, the leadership guru on leadership. I think he knows more about leader. He has written more on leadership than I believe anybody ever in history. I do have a master's in business myself. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I'm a father. I've got 5 kids. I'm a friend. I'm a son. Right now, I'm trying to help my mom, who's in an assisted living. And I just want you to see, it's like, I'm human. I have to figure out all this stuff myself. I won't go into all of my story, but it's been a bumpy ride. And I finally said, enough is enough. Let me figure out how to do this. And I started paying people tens of thousands of dollars over time. And finally got frustrated. It's like, man, I've got to figure out how to get this done without just keep on. I had an expensive hobby, so to speak, but not necessarily a business. So, and I've learned to learn from anybody. I've learned to learn from some of these, these types of business people that you might recognize, and from physicians to spiritual types to, here's Ryan Levesque, who is a marketing guy. Maybe Mike Filsame, who wrote Kajabi and Groove and some of these kinds of groups. And I've just learned to learn, right? And that's where it starts. Many of you are probably have grown, and you're probably on this because you're that type of a personality. And entrepreneurs, they try a lot of things. They can really get easily distracted, and they can sometimes and spend a lot of time not getting to where they need to get to. And so that's why I actually wrote Time Management Rocket Fuel. And Time Management Rocket Fuel is, let me see if I move forward here. I've got hundreds of slides, let me just tell you here. So in Time Management Rocket Fuel, what I recognized is that time is limited, right? We have a very short amount of time. And if you don't figure out what you want to do and start doing it quickly, time is going to be gone, right? It's like every year is gone again. Did you achieve what you wanted to this year? Did you achieve what you wanted to this week? And if you haven't, then you might consider time management rocket fuel. And this is kind of starting where I ended up starting at the very beginning, where I just realized you have to be clear about what you want. Otherwise, you start, and especially those of you who are on this call and want to do a business, you start working on a business. It maybe take you years to figure out the technology. You start doing all of these things, and then all of a sudden you're like, I don't even like this business. So it's like we start at the start, and you really want to get clear about what you really want. And then from there, you begin to have these beliefs in your head. As soon as you start to dream towards a goal, you begin to have these beliefs that say, I don't know how to do this. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. And so you have to push through these barriers, these limiting beliefs. And so these are all systems. I call these life success systems, lifetime success systems. And these are all the kinds of systems that you put into your life so that you can be able to achieve what you really want, instead of get to the end of your life and realize, where did it go? And you're living with regret. And so this moves into time, learning how to prioritize your time so that you get everything. Do you achieve the things you want to get done each day, unless you have a thing thrown in like this. But that's reality, right? You have things like that get thrown in. So do you have margin? Do you know how to prioritize your time so that you still stay on track and achieve what you want? And so that's what time prioritize and power plan is all about. You then learn how to get control the peoples in your life, and you learn how to stay focused. I call this follow one course until successful. I wrote a book called Focus. In fact, those of you who stay to the end, I'll go ahead and give you a PDF on that. It's my top 10 list on how to stay focused. And slow me down if I get too fast and you get overwhelmed, because I do know that right now, because of my energy level, I'm probably going to talk a little bit too fast. So just, feel free to ask questions and things like that. In fact, let me put the chat into my little picture here frame so that I can see if you're saying stuff. And I'm going to move this over here, and I'm going to move your little faces up to the top. There we go. And I can still see that way. Okay. Though I can't see all of my slide things. Okay, there we go. All right. And let's see. Okay, it's Friday. Let's see. I want to start business. Okay. Thank you, Janaya. Invitation was sent to me in an email. I started business is something I'm not familiar with, so I wanted to tune in as something I'm arrested. Biggest hurdle is getting instead as I'm working full time. Okay, got it. Full-time hobbies, interested. Yeah, I'm able to harness due time. Don't know how to get started. Got it. Perfect. I think you're in the perfect place today. If you struggle with knowing exactly what you need to do in your business, if you struggle with maybe thinking that you don't know technology, or you don't know where to start, you don't have a business degree or anything like that, this is the perfect place for you. But it is going to require some effort from you. It is going to take some things that you're going to have to focus on. You're going to have to know. I can give you the guidance, but you're going to have to do it, unless you want me to do it for you. And I do have that option as well, because like I said, sometimes it's just like we need someone to help us. All right. So with all that said, these are all the things of kind of how to lead your time, how to lead others. And then this is the section where that's going to interest you today. And this is where we're going to spend time, is mainly right here in this section here on how to lead your business. And it's how I call this less is more money. And what most people do is they do all these fun things that they think are going to get them closer to their business. They focus on their, the romantic stuff, creating a website and their logo, and in the meantime, they focus on all those, trying to learn how to do that, which takes years of learning, how to do the right copy, how to, create a good email, things like that. And then what happens is time gets by, and then another year is gone, right? And so I call this less is more money. And the reason is because less stands for what I think is the most important thing, and the things that we're going to talk about today. And less stands for leads. Okay. You need leads. You need a way to get people to see you, right? You need an exciting, irresistible offer. And this is huge, right? You have to have an offer, and you need an offer that's going to help you, that communicates exactly what you want, and not what you want, on what the other person wants, and in a language that makes sense to them. And then finally, at least as the start of your business, you need to know how to get a sale. All right. And I used to hate sales. I found myself working a lot on trying to do a bunch of other sell things and not knowing. I wanted to avoid sales, so I tried to do anything and everything but it. I tried to do marketing, stuff like that, and it'd keep me from getting sales. And then finally, S stands for a service, right? You need to be able to have have a service that people will come back. All right. So let's just talk about this and how I can help you get there fast. All right. Because I know time is limited here. And let me just show you this quote real quick. You may know this guy. I just listened to him. I went to a conference that he was at a couple of months ago. James Clear, he says that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Okay. You fall to the level of your systems. So it's not enough to have a goal. You need a system to be able to help you stay focused, right? So if you have the right systems, you're going to get the right results. And that's the point. The reason why you're not getting the results that you want is because of cause and effect. Like if you think about a clock, if you have a clock, if you set a clock, that's the cause, and then it's going to wake you up, hopefully, in time for work, right? That's the effect. If you forget to set the clock, well, then the clock's not going to go off, and then the effect is you may wake up late and not show up or whatever. So cause and effect, and it really is as simple as this system is called the Quickstart Business Kit. And if you want to know who you want to follow, if you want the systems in place to get your business started in 9 weeks, then this is the place for you, okay? If you'd like to get your business started in a month, did you hear me? In a month, this is the place for you. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get a bunch of sales, but I'm going to say I can get you at least started. And if you want a website, have your website up and going, ready to go, without all of the distraction, okay, and without having to learn technology and without even knowing anything about business. All right. So what I do is I help business and professionals, entrepreneurs, physicians control their calendar by creating the lifetime systems for success without working harder and without more time. And let me go back to my other slides because that's my time management rocket fuel offer, I guess you could say, right? So, all right, so we're back to here. I talked about T5, talked about time management rocket fuel, talked about my book. And what I want to be able to do is help you get control of your calendar. Yes. Nope, none of those. So here we are. So what I want to do is in 9 weeks, I want to help you as an entrepreneur create your top essential success systems for your business, even if you know nothing about business or technology. But here's the big thing that we struggle with, all right? Time. Time is tick-tocking away, and sometimes you can waste your time on TikTok. And the thing is, what you need is to be able to know you're lacking some clarity of some kind. Maybe you don't know who your ideal customer is. You don't know what your niche is, right? The second thing is you're lacking motivation. And so you're procrastinating. There's some things that you're just not pushing through. And then finally, you have just some inefficient systems. You don't know the technology. You don't know copy, sales, marketing, social media, and things like that. So what I've done is I've invested a lot in AI. I'm also willing to do some things for you, and I'm also a professional coach. And what I mean by that is with a coach, you can just get there faster, period. All right. In fact, if there's anything I would probably say today, the most important thing I would say is that you get yourself a coach. It's one thing to know how to do things. It's another thing to actually do them. All right. So I have my mentor, John Maxwell, he said his dad used to say, he used to have this joke, all right? And here's how the joke went. He said, there were these 4 frogs sitting on a log. One decides to jump off. How many are left? All right, good question. So how many are left? And, he said the first time he heard that, he was like, oh, there must be 3, right? That's the obvious answer. To which his dad says, no, there are 4, because there's a big difference between deciding and actually doing, right? So we need help in blind spots. We need help in making the next decision. Bill Gates says everyone needs a coach, right? So isn't that something? Why would everyone needs a coach. And the reason why he said that is because he's so stupid, right? Okay, so I just want you to hear, coaching is really important, okay? Coaching helps you think into what things that you haven't thought about. Coaching helps you see what you haven't seen. Coaching helps you stay accountable and on task. And it helps you know what you don't know, all right? So for instance, I went to Disneyland the other day. And by the way, I'm not going to sell anything to you today. I really do want to just kind of give you lots of content. And so sit back, relax, and then I'll give you even another opportunity where we can have a conversation. And then eventually that might lead to a sale if you're still interested, and if I think that you're a fit. Okay. But that's, anyway, that's maybe a soft sell, but I'm not really selling anything to you at all today. So imagine going to Disney, and which I did about a year and a half ago, and I used coaching to kind of help me figure out how to get everything that I wanted to get done faster, and make sure that I was able to achieve what I wanted, which was to be able to get to this one particular Disney park and be able to ride all the roller coasters I wanted, and to be able to get home before all chaos hit. And so I'm halfway through the day, and I'm in line with my daughter, and it's a beautiful day, but the line it's just like, this is getting too long. And so I finally said, I think I'm going to go ahead and jump to the next line. And all of a sudden, I remember my coach says, trust the process, trust the process. All right. And so I did. And I stayed in the line, and I just kind of relaxed, even though I was getting anxious. And long story short, I was able to get into all of the roller coaster rides that I wanted, right? And it all started because a good coach is going to ask you lots of good questions first, right? They're going to know you better. So, are you, how old is your family? What do you want to achieve when you go? How much money do you have? And then they're going to ask you more questions. Would you like to try you've got the Disney Genie, do you want to go to Disneyland or Disney World? They've got all this access that they haven't thought of. So anyway, I just want you to know good coaching helps a lot. Okay. Now, what I want to show you is how I can help you get there so much faster. All right. So first of all, you have to know who you're going to try to reach, right? It's your niche. It's your customer. So let me just first question for yourself today. Do you know who your customer is? And if you don't, I can help you get there fast. So I'm going to just take you through what I took one of my clients through last month. Okay. This was a client who has been struggling for years, wanting to get her business started, hasn't done it. She actually lives she's international. She actually lives in an area that is not very open to creativity and things like that. It's in a different country, and but she didn't know how to get started. And so what I did is I asked her hobbies, her interests, her skills, and her expertise. And then from that, within minutes, I was able to help print off some ideas for her. And then we began to think about niches. And so of the four, I gave her a list of 10 niches. And then out of those niches, I then worked through analyzing those niches. And with the help of AI, right now, you're able to go in and find out all kinds of things about people. It used to take me forever to do this, and there's always all kinds of ways you can do it. And if you want to do it the hard way, I can more than happy help you with that. Go on Amazon, you could look up books and you can see what they said about those books. You could talk about Google Trends. We could talk about Google. There's all kinds of ways that you can start to figure out some of this. And then honestly, ultimately, you have to talk with your customer, right? You have to have a good conversation with them and know what they say, not what you want or what you think. So now with the help of AI, I'm able to help you figure out and evaluate your niche. All right. And then from there, I would be able to give you some really good ideas. And so here are some examples of somebody who wanted to be able to sell an online course around their personality, around their desires and things like that, and their goals, their hopes. And so here are a couple of ideas and that they went with. And then from there, I pushed into figuring out what those niches are and to have them come up with a course that they could do or see if that niche is actually viable or not. So in other words, some niches are harder because they either have it's a red ocean, about sharks. There's too many people trying to go for that same thing, Or there's just, I'm trying to sell, I don't know, I'm trying to sell one shoe pink Nikes with spikes on or something. And, unless you're going to charge $10,000 each, you're just not going to make any money on that, right? So that's kind of what that does. And that's what I do, is I help you figure out all of that. And then from there, what I do is I help you figure out, I'm going to try to get you a website started. And there's like 177 different things that you're going to have to think through and figure out and put this in the right format that I'm going to provide for you. And this, but it starts with trying to help you figure out what, your demographic is. And it doesn't have to be super specific, even like this. But I can get now, because of AI, I can help you get there a lot faster, just thinking through it and give you, again, a bunch of ideas. We'll think about a subject just to kind of help you narrow down and be able to then, with the help of like someone like Gary Halbert, I don't know if you know anything about him. He's like one of the top copywriters. Will then write for you a whole complete system that you could get a lead from, so that you could then get sales, or that you could sell. All right, either way. And then on the back end, you're going to get something very basic like this, just to get you started. Are you ready to launch your own business? Discover the secrets. This is me just trying. I just wanted to show that I put this website together in a month, and just quickly, this is the basic part of it. I'm not saying it's all put together. I can now change this however I want. I can make it look however I want. But I'm not, don't go there, but you can go to quickstartbusinesskit.com. And so that's what I called it. And I just wanted to show you that this is possible, that I could do this, because I'm not ready to launch quite yet, but I'm looking for a couple of people who want to be beta testers in my process. And so I've already had a couple of people through, and again, in a month, we were able to kind of get their website up, and they have now a lead magnet, and they now can, if they want to do, if they want to write some things, if they want to do some, however they want to do their website, all that is a lead magnet. Now, if you remember, LESS starts with lead. So you have to get leads. Now, I'm not saying that's where we start, but you have to be able to start getting leads. And so you can't get leads until you know who you're trying to reach. So that's how we do it. We give you a way that you can start to get leads, and to capture emails, or to capture phone numbers, or to capture a way to be able to communicate with these people. Okay. And then you need, and I'm not going to go into all this again, technology can really slow you down, right? I could talk about CRMs, auto email responders. I don't know if this makes any sense to you at all, but I have gone through it, and I've worked from everything from, ClickFunnels to, I don't know, Kajabi or whatever. So and then trying to figure out CRMs, all of these. What I want to do is just get you started so you're making money, so that you can then be able to pay more people to do some of these things instead of you trying to do it all yourself. Okay. So that's kind of the start. I just want you to see how it's possible that some people are like, that you've been through this so many times, you're like, there's no way you can get this done in a month. And I'm just telling you, it's possible. It really is possible. And if you think back to time management rocket fuel, the second step is you have to have the belief. You have to be able to get past what you think is not possible. And so I just want you to hear that it is possible. And I want you to show you a quick case study. Let me see how I'm doing time-wise. So I just want you to think about a case study here. This was Oscar. Oscar, when I met him, he was a painter. He comes from a family that's never had any entrepreneurs in it. He comes from a cultural background that you can kind of get stuck in. And he said, I'd love to start a business someday. And I said, well, how much would you like to make? He goes, well, I'd love to make $100,000. And I usually say, how come you don't want to add a zero? Because I really want you to expand your thinking. But he was like, okay, I want to make 100 grand. I said, okay. He goes, that would be a life changer for me. I said, okay, well then let's focus on that. Now, with that, we have all kinds of beliefs that begin to pop up, and we had to deal with those, right? So he had his goal. He was clear about that. We call this 2020 vision and why. And he began to understand what his motivation was behind it. So it drove him, no matter what, he was going to work hard for the next couple of years to figure this out. And so, long story short, he was able to work through those beliefs with the help of the time management rocket fuel. And then at the same time, he started doing time management rocket fuel business. And within a couple of months, he quit his job. He started his own business. He became an entrepreneur. It was hard. It was scary for him. I didn't think he should have quit his business, but he was confident that he wanted to do that because he had a real jerk boss and he just didn't care anymore. And so it put him out there, right? And anyway, long story short, a year later, he's making 100 grand. He's got his own business, and now he's thinking, I'm so impressed with him. I'm so excited for him. And with the right support and the right system, right? Do you think you could do that too? I guess would be my question today. I could take you to wow.t5system.com, which is just kind of just a bunch of people that have, there's a doctor friend of mine. Here's I call them friends. These are all clients, but this is Kevin. Kevin is a guy who's a little further along than probably you are, some of you, but he was doing well. He made good money, but he had plateaued for several years. And the reality is he's like, I said, well, what would you like to do? He goes, well, I'd like to make $1 million. And I'm like, well, okay, let's make $1 million. And of course, mindset kicks in and he's like, but what if I fail? And I'm like, yeah, I said, that would be terrible, wouldn't it? If you made $950,000. And he's like, well, okay, if you put it that way. And so we kind of worked through that belief. But as soon as that one popped up, another one popped up, right? And we all have these things. You just aren't aware of them. But they are there. Otherwise, you would be successful already. Okay. There's a reason why you're not getting the results you're getting. And part of it has to do with these beliefs that you're not aware of or alignment of your values and different things. And in Kevin's case, he started saying, but what if I succeed? So we worked through one and another one pops up. And so in a matter of a session or two, he was able to kind of break through those things and start realizing that he could do some other things. He's not there yet. I don't know. So one of my tips for you today, just to keep you moving forward, is if you say things like, I don't know how to do this, I would encourage you just to add to the back of that the word yet. Okay. So we need to speak truth into our unconscious thinking. Otherwise, you can't move forward. And so it has to at least be true. Truth sets us free. Facts are your friends, right? So it may be true where you are right now, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be true forever. And so maybe just putting the word yet on the back of a sentence can sometimes help you at least move forward. I know there's a lot more of those for many of you. For me, I had one that said, I'm not enough. And I didn't know that until I was in my 30s. And I had just spent a lifetime trying to compensate for that belief that was running in my head. And it was just keeping me back and it wasn't allowing me to be my true me. So anyway, long story short, Kevin, he makes his $1 million. This was during COVID as well. And I believe that the dream that you have on your heart can be possible for you too. Okay. So let's start your business. Okay. Let's not spend another year going by. You only have 80, right? At the most, a couple of days ago was Steve Jobs, the Steve Jobs birthday day, right? He was 56 when he died. Right. And yet think about how much he accomplished. He accomplished a lot, but his life didn't even go 80 years. And so are you ready to get started? Or do you want to continue just to be living with regret? All right. So it starts with, you need to be able to lead yourself. Okay. Secondly, you're going to need to figure out how to lead others. If you have a big dream, you're going to need a team, or self-sufficiency can kill you. And then you need to know how to be able to lead your work. Okay. And so we're talking about work today, and the process that I want to encourage you to use so that you can be able to get more leads. And we'll figure out, the goal is, first of all, to create a very exciting, irresistible offer. Okay. So that's where we're going to get. Well, first of all, I'm going to get you started with a website just because I think that makes you feel good. And at least you have a place to take people. Okay. And there's all kinds of, I mean, I've, you know, once you get that website, you're going to then need to figure out how you're going to get people to it. Okay. And that offer needs to be there. You need to have what we call $1 million, Aaron Fletcher calls $1 million message. And so you need to be able to have that kind of a message that people say, oh, I absolutely want this. Okay. And so we would start with lead or offer. We're going to get into an offer and try to create that $1 million message. And then from there, you need to figure out how you're going to get leads. How are you going to get people there? And it doesn't matter. There's a million ways to make $1 million. So you just figure out one way. And that's where we want to get started. So you can get at least your first money going. And for those of you who are there to figure out how to be able to get more money going so that you can scale, like was mentioned earlier. And then once that happens, you've got people there. And so how come they're not buying from me still? And so I'm going to recommend, if you're new, that we start with a high ticket offer. Most people think you need to start with a low ticket offer, but if you've never have a proven mechanism yet, then we're going to start with getting some people in and just get to know you, and you get to know them, which is why I'm wanting you on my team right now. It's like, because I'm really listening for your, the words that you use, the things that you say that you need. And I think I know, but I don't know exactly until I hear and see and can prove that I can help you. And so I want to help you get there. I want to help you get there fast. And I'm going to give you your first sales script, which is a $10,000 script that will help you truly be able to understand, connect with people. There's a simple way. I like simple things, and I like things that can get me there faster. And so for me, sales is one of those things. I now love to do sales. I used to hate it. And it's because I'm not that slimy, pushy salesman type. Okay. And that just doesn't work for me. And so anyway, I want to make sure I can give you everything that you need to be able to succeed. And then finally, trying to put together the systems so that your people actually get what you say that you're going to give them, and that they do that in a way, right, that they want to come back, or they want to tell other people about it. Okay, so that's what Time Management Rocket Fuel is all about. And that's what Time Management Rocket Fuel business is all about. And so my goal is to be able to help you get, in 9 weeks, your business up and going, and try to figure out what your niche is. We will figure out what your niche is within that amount of time. It took me years. I was always going back. I just didn't trust. I was always starting over. And I just kept starting over and over and over again. So I want to be able to get a niche that you like, a niche that connects with you, and then be able to go ahead and create a lead magnet, right? A way that you can be able to get leads, and a website. And then from there, be able to create a message, right? That is tied to an irresistible offer. Okay. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have my complete irresistible offer available today. But we could, if we get on a call, I could talk to you about it. I will tell you, though, already I think that you see that I can help you with the technology. I can do this stuff for you. We're going to work through some copy. We're going to, I don't know. Again, you can tell me what you don't have, what's not working for you, but we want to be able to help you get that done and get done fast. Okay. So, all right. With that said, I'm going to open it up for Q&A, and maybe be able to figure out how to help you on some things right now and give you some next steps to get started. Mainly focusing on, I'll talk to you about any of these things. Okay. Any of these things you want to talk to, but of course, I'm going to always kind of bring it back to how to be able to lead your business and how to make money in your business. Okay. That's our goal for today. All right. With that said, what questions do you have for me? You can unmute yourself. You can write it in the chat box. So information, I appreciate this class. You're welcome. Taisha. Is there anything in specific that stood out and I will continue to make this better. My T5 system, oh my goodness, it is so lasered in. But this one I just want to kind of get, I want to be a little broad, and then as I get to know you better, I'll be able to speak clear into your needs. If not, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at some questions I had here earlier. When is some time is something interested? Biggest hurdle is getting started. Okay, yeah. Okay, so Crystal, all right, you put yourself out there. Okay, so thank you for that. Again, I think truth is what sets you free. So being honest is hard. Getting on these calls is sometimes hard to put yourself out there. And so well done. Okay. So what I'm going to recommend for you is, and you're working full time. Okay. You have a few hobbies, interests that haven't been able to harness due time. Okay. So yeah, what I would recommend is you start thinking about, boy, let's see here. On your own, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to be a lot harder. But start with the things that I told you earlier. Okay. So let's go back. I'm gonna go back here and no wait. Okay. So what I usually start with, and I showed you earlier, I don't want to confuse you, so let me just do this. I just want you to be able to stay focused here. And hundreds of slides here. So let's find one that would work for you. And I have two decks open, so that's throwing me off too. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Yeah, so what I'd be willing to do is if you want to get on a call, I think I would take too much time helping you try to figure this out on your own. Okay. So this is why I try to do some of this for you. That's why I call it the Quick Start Business Kit, because some of you are tired of trying to figure it out on your own, right? And if that's the case, why don't you get on a call with me, right? I call it a strategy session. Let me put this in the chat box. And for anybody that wants to get on a strategy call today, I will offer that to you today. That's my gift to you. How about that? All right. chad-earhart.com/busy leader, I think is what it is here. So let me just make sure. So why don't you test this out, make sure it works for you. Oop. http://.com/busy leader. And yeah, try that. EARHA. No, that's not right. Doggone it. Let me slow down. There is a principle that I like to teach called slowing down to go faster. A millionaire friend of mine taught me this. And there is a need to slow down and consider a different way, right? Sometimes. All right, let's try that. There we go. That's it. Okay. So yeah, so any of you want to get on a call, we can get on a call. What I can't promise I can do this for all of you, but hey, you put yourself out there first. So Crystal, if you want, what I would be willing to do is go through this with you. I want you to kind of write down no more than 3 hobbies, no more than 3 of write down your 3 top hobbies, your 3 top interests, your 3 top skills, and what you think you might be an expertise in. Okay. And I think that will help you at least begin to get started on if you haven't already. Then I'm going to ask you some more questions about what you think you want to do. All right. And what your challenges are in your business. And then what I'm going to do is create a plan for you. And I'll do this for everybody. I'll do this for everybody because there's only, I don't know, 3 or 4 of you on today. Yeah. So if you want to get on a call with me, what I will do is I'll help you think into your next 90 days of what I think to a year, 90 days to a year of what I think the steps are that you need to be taking to be able to get what you want. Okay. And and then here's why I do that. Some people go, why do you do that for free? You know, because I usually, a lot of times I charge for this and I create a bunch of PDFs and things like that. I'm not going to go to that extreme with you on this since it's free, but what I will do is help you think into that. And then what I'll do from there is if, and only if, I'm 100% confident that I could help you, then I will give you an offer. And so here's what I find. What I find is some people will take this plan and they'll run it and it will work for them. Okay. Now they may, I don't know whether they get a bunch of bumps and where they have challenges and frustrations, but I do know that there's a certain amount of you who would like help with that, right? And so if you do, that's how I usually get paid. And so I'll throw out some kind of an offer that I think that's fair for you and for me. And then if you want help and staying focused and having, understanding the nuances of the plan, that's how I could help you as well. Okay. So anyway, that's Crystal, that's where I would start if I heard you correctly. Okay. All right. Say thank you for the link. Yeah, I've taken care, I've written it down, looking for time management, looking into time management. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I must go on a call for work. No problem, Crystal. Thanks for being on the call today. All right. Any others have a question? You're welcome. Let me go back up and see if there's anything else up here somebody said. Okay, Taisha, she wants to start a business and wanted to learn more how to. Biggest challenge being disabled. Okay, so again, that can create some mindset, Taisha, right? That can create some mindset blockages for you. And my guess is, so let me just take you through real quick. Let me just take you through this. Let's see here. Was there anything? Somebody else said something here? Yes. Okay. So let me just walk you through your mindset issue real quick. Okay. I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to, nope, that's not the one. Let's go over here. Let's go back over here. Mindset. Okay. Oops, that's how to prioritize your time. Okay. All right. So here we are on the limiting barriers eliminator. Okay. So let's go to the beginning of this. And so usually at this stage, if I'm correct, you get overwhelmed by these limiting beliefs. You get burnt out by negative past results that have happened, and you're frustrated by your fears that pop up. Okay. And so this is one of, I have PDFs for all of these steps, by the way. Okay. And then I have tools and templates for each of these steps. Okay. That can help you just get there faster. And so let me just kind of walk you through what I think your steps are. First of all, as you think about your goals, all right. So I want you to see this is really in the right order. Okay. I'm just trying to say this is in the right order because otherwise, you can start here, but if you're not sure about if you don't have a vision and your why, we need to step back to that step a little bit. And, but okay, let's say you've got, I'm guessing you may not have it crystal clear, but you have some clarity. And so you've got some kind of goal. And as soon as you begin to think about that, right, you begin to pop up, I have a disability or whatever. And as you think about those goals, I want you to write down what those limiting beliefs are. I want you to write down what any barriers are. I don't have enough money. I have a disability, whatever it is. And that's where you start. Okay. You have to start at recognizing and acknowledging what is there. Now, as a coach, I know that there are things that you don't see as well. And so I know I have to go through several sessions with you before those begin to pop up. And then I can be a mirror to you and show you that. By the way, I'm not going to judge you in my coaching, by the way. I purely am here to help you learn from whatever it is. It's never a failure if you learn from it. And but yet there are unconscious things that are going on that have probably been there most of your life, right? And I won't go into all the research behind that, but Carl Jung says unless you make the unconscious conscious, it will run your life, and you'll call it fate. Okay, so we're going to start with just this limiting belief, and you're going to have to just say what you say, see what you see, right? This is what I believe. You know, it may, you don't really believe it. I know sometimes it's like, it's not true, but it sure does feel true. What is that? What are those things? So write those things down. And that's where you need to start. Okay. You need to start by just getting clear about those beliefs. And then, and then you need to start speaking truth into those places so that those don't limit you anymore. And so that you can at least move forward. And then sometimes we have competing values that are going on in our head. And we need to deal with those as well. And that's, and so I don't know how, I don't want to, get off track here on you, but if you're like, yeah, this is it, it's like, okay, I could keep going, but my guess is and you may not even understand what I'm talking about competing values. Let me give you an example. For me, freedom, my most important value is freedom and helping other people live free and fulfilled. And so when I was started on this journey, first of all, I didn't know what freedom was, and so I never could achieve it. It was always elusive and I was always frustrated. The second thing is I had competing values in my head that I didn't realize were there. Things like around financial freedom would be I had one that said, you're supposed to be content. Okay. But I also had one that said I'm supposed to be blessed. So which is it? Am I supposed to receive blessing and more blessing, or am I supposed to just be content? And so what I would and my definitions were kind of messed up. And so I grew up in a very scarcity minded environment. And so I find myself more happy, or not happy, more at home around the clearance aisle than I do in just a real nice apartment, or not apartment, department store of some kind. So those beliefs can pop in my head. I grew up in a very religious family, and I'm a faith person. I love God personally, but what I find is I had some beliefs that had snuck in, like money is the root of all evil, right? And it's like, money is the root of all evil. I'm not supposed to have money. Well, is that actually true? Because the truth will set you free. Jesus actually says it's the love of money, not money, right? And so, but that little shift kept me from receiving blessing on one hand, and then secondly, it kept me from saying, oh gosh, what was I going to say? It's around that competing value. Oh, so one of what my belief was around contentment was I was supposed to say, shut up, Chad, and just be content. Shut up, Chad, just be content. And so anytime someone brought me a blessing, I would usually just go, oh, I'm not really supposed to receive this. And so I would shut it off. Shut up, Chad, just be content. And when I began to, the day after I took care of this, my coach helped me through this thing that was going on in my head. I was able to move forward. And the next day, I had someone offer me $1 million business if I would just work for him for a couple of years, and he'd show me the ropes and things like that. And long story short, I also knew I'd already gone through, the exact same process I'm taking you through here. I was very confident about my vision and my deeper why. And so, whoa, what happened there? And so because of that, I actually turned him down because I'm really confident about what I wanted, And so anyway, maybe that will help you, Taisha. I know that's not exactly talking about the business piece today, but we all know that if we don't take care of these other things, those are the things that kick us in the backside and we never get to where we want to get to. So if that rings true to you, I'd be more than happy to have a conversation with you and even help you think into your niche. All right. Okay. Was that helpful? Was that what you were thinking about, or is there any other piece of it? Awesome. All right. Love that. All right. Well, blessings to you. Okay. Very helpful. All right. Good. Hopefully that was helpful for everybody. All right. Any other questions? I have another 5 minutes. I have maybe time for one more question. Keep going up here. I think I've got everything that you guys wrote about. Done for me. Choose better webinar. Leaders. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Okay. How do we set time to speak with you? Yeah, sure. So it's the I wrote it earlier. So let me see. Maybe you weren't on it. Let me just try to copy this and see. All right, I'm going to put it in the chat box. In the chat. It's this link right here, chadearhart.com/busy leader. I think I have a copy of this somewhere in Time Management Rocket Fuel so that you can get on that call too. There you go. chadearhart.com/busy leader. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I understand that. I've got kids. Okay. All right. Well, and maybe I could have my assistant send you the recording if I recorded it. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, I recorded it on my computer and not in the air. So I don't know. It'd take a little work to do it. So I don't know. We'll see. All right. Registered my company 2 years ago. I haven't run it. Oh, man. Maybe because I've been thinking much more of my barriers. Yeah. I like how to start with. Yeah. Oh, let's get you started. Let's get you started. Let's do this. Absolutely. The world needs what you have to offer, right? You are a unique individual that has learned some things and have grown in some areas and you have a worth, right? And not everybody will connect with you. I was telling somebody this yesterday that was kind of frustrated with getting a date, right? And it's like, there are 8 billion people out there, right? that think you are attractive. Okay. Not all of them, but some of them. Otherwise, all these people wouldn't be married, right? It's like because somebody thinks that your particular personality and your particular look is attractive, right? And it's the same thing with what you have to offer. It's like somebody comes out and says, I want to make jeans. And if they would have said, Levi has already got the market on Levi, on jeans, we would never have, all of these other kinds of jeans that probably some of them fit you better, right? And look better on you, right? So anyway, I'm just rah. All right, let's get you out there and let's work through that. Okay. All right. Enough is enough. Looks like my time is over here for today. Peace to you. I'm so glad that you're on this call. And again, I'll talk to you soon on the other side. And you're loved. Now, if I can figure out how to turn this off. All right. All right. All right. Peace.